On ABC Sport, this is the grand final of the Brisbane Rugby League between Redcliffe and Souths to determine the 1996 Premiership.
Welcome to the 1996 Brisbane Forex Premier League Grand Final. This competition has been a long-standing one, going way back to 1909. The tradition continues today, and it's the turn of Redcliffe and Southern Suburbs to do battle for the honour and the glory. Redcliffe, premiers 2 years ago. Southern Suburbs have been in the semi-finals the last few years running. Redcliffe, 2 weeks ago, beaten in a dramatic match for the Queensland Cup by Toowoomba.
The kick-off by Wayne Miller, chips it downfield. There is a swirling breeze. That was an awkward one there. Over the head, there's Floyd Hill. He picks it up, but can only get it to around about 12 metres out. Souths have been nowhere near their opponent's try line until this point in time. There's Benson. Benson looks straight through. Held the ball out in front of me. Then Benson held it up for a moment, then put the accelerator down. For some inexcusable reason, the Dolphins held off. And for that reason, Benson just said, thank you, I'm away. There was no extra men. They didn't need to hold off. They had the numbers.
You're dead right, David. It's been all Redcliffe to now. Souths have been making mistakes. They just managed to get the ball back after the penalty. Here's Benson. Plenty of defence there. Little hole opened up as he held up the ball in between Kahu Tweedy and Peter Robinson.
Favourite side, but hooks it. What a good kick there from Floyd Hill. The score, 4 points to 0 after about 9 minutes of play.
And go straight towards the try line.
Got back behind his man in time. It's play on now. Gould with numbers out wide, fires the long pass. It's Shipway, tries to get outside, back inside is Hewinson. He looks for his fullback, gives it instead to O'Reilly. Great hands by Redcliffe, keeping it alive on the ground. Robinson scoots it back, chance for Kahu Tweedy, and it goes, it's Cotter. The big front row scores. Graham Cotter scores for Redcliffe. They kept the ball alive. There must have been some 15 passes involved as it went from one side of the field to the other.
Redcliffe knew they had to score from this play. They threw it everywhere. Tony Gould with the big long pass there. But just keep your eye on, there's all sorts of passing going on here, but Tony Gould just cleans up here just when Redcliffe needed it. The ball goes to the ground, and he comes from nowhere to scoop it up and set play going to the right-hand side of the field. And Graham Cotter, well, he's a confidence player, and this will do him the world of good.
4 all at the moment. Hits it very nicely. The wind will bring it around beautifully. Right down the middle. Great kick from Miller. He's in that side for Aaron Douglas, and he's out of the extras. The Dolphins lead by 6 points to 4. Would say inside out. There's Dinduck, gets around that first line of defence, and then Brimble from the inside grabs him by the scruff of the neck and throws him into touch. The opportunity here for the Magpies. There's Nocon. Nocon lets one go, fires this long pass out into lane, out to Brimble. Brimble steps back on the inside. Brimble through 2. Great work from Mark Brimble. He had plenty of work to do when he got that ball. There were 2 players to beat, and Brimble raises his hand in acknowledgement of what was a fine try. Some good work on the inside too from Peter Nocon out to lane, and then Brimble had all the work to do.
And the reason they had the extra man out here was because Mark Lane stood wide and Floyd Hill came from the far wing. Put enough pressure on the defence to give Brimble the chance there to beat 2 men with brilliant footwork. Great work.
Almost from the touchline. Hits it, squirts it out to the right-hand side. No goal, but the Magpies have the lead of 8 points to 6. Dummy half, gets out of that position. Looks out there to Nocon. Nocon looks for a bit of support, runs around behind one of his own players in Brendan Williams. And Souths, on the very second tackle of their recovery play, have once again given away an opportunity. Miller can square it all up. And there's the angle he's got. Hits it nicely again, curling it beautifully. Through. Miller squared it up. 8 all. Let's have a look here. There's Miller going down there, and you can see Buckley. He's just got him in tree. He was like a little train, just hanging onto the jersey as they're running along the field. And it was fairly obvious Buckley penalised for that. He wasn't going to let him get away. But has he allowed Redcliffe to get the lead at half-time? Wayne Miller, the perfect record so far. Hits it nicely again, curling around. Has he got the legs? Yes, he has. What a kick from Miller. What a selection, Wayne Miller, who has played very little first grade this year with Aaron Douglas in the side. Aaron Douglas.
Because we know in the Queensland Cup final that Toowoomba were complaining about Redcliffe's tactics.
Pass held up there from Floyd. There's Jared Williams back on the inside to Buckley. He's in a bit of space. Looks for support. Finds support. I think it was Mick Davis. He's brought down on the 6th tackle.
Chance to get some good field position.
Yeah, we talked about that, mate. We talked about that, you know.
He wasn't. Oh, South's very close.
O'Grady is over the line.
Can't get it down.
Held up was the one that was called forward, going across the play. I didn't think it was. The white line to me said it was fine.
Well,
But the referee, there's the one that counts.
I'll stand in the middle and say it was flat. But either way, Souths are over the line twice within 60 seconds, unable to get a four-pointer. From Williams. They're back on the 30, Redcliffe. O'Reilly wraps around Gould. Now gets it out to Tweedy. A little flat-footed, though, this time as the South defence comes up. They've escaped the trap. Robinson handballs it on to Miller. He's got men outside. They both go inside. Miller pops it back nicely. Great football here. Hurren's still going. Hurren to Smallhorn. Smallhorn scores for Redcliffe. There's the reward for the persistent attack that they've shown in the last couple of minutes. After the dropout, they came back at South again. There from the hooker Smallhorn. Here's Hinchy slipping it away. Out it goes to O'Reilly, and they keep it alive.
Good work from Robinson. He just batted it on. Miller was in a bit of space there. Floyd Hill had gone up to try and block the passes. There's Miller, does beautifully to get it back on the inside. And Cameron Hurren, he knew someone was going to be there. He realised it was late in the tackle count. Pops the pass up. Smallhorn, who backs up beautifully, scores the try after. The way he's been kicking, you'd have to think he was a certainty. And he's hooked it. So the Dolphins retain a lead of 6 points.
I think Lane was desperate to get it to the overlap, and he forced the pass, which was it on.
Offside inside the 10, and you would have to think Wayne Miller, who demanded the kick.
Miller, not far off centre field, puts it up high, brings it straight between the posts, judges the breeze perfectly, hits it well.
Tackle.
Brimble never got a chance at it. Here they go on the last tackle. They're close. It's
Must be
Buckley.
offside.
Buckley dives and he's short. Oh, he's over. The referee's awarded a try. Shane Buckley's in for Souths. They hit back just when they needed the try. Great break made by Williams on the end of a long pass from Nocon to take them to within 10 metres, and then Buckley used his strength to force his way over at 16-12 in favour of Redcliffe.
The Magpies back in the match. Williams got that pass, a good pass it was from Nocon. Got on the outside there of Gould. Away goes Williams, only one to beat, and that was Denduck. Brimble was coming up on his left-hand side. Williams tries the step. Denduck covers him pretty well. South needed a quick play the ball. There was some suggestion there of a knock-on. Brimble picks it up. O'Grady takes those couple of paces that were oh so important, and the experience of Shane Buckley to surge forward, the strength of Buckley to get across the try line. That was the last tackle. They had only that chance.
Which just didn't have time to regroup.
Sean O'Grady taking the kicks. Missed another one, the Magpies. So the score remains 16 points to 12.
On their own 20, the Magpies. Nocon throws a long pass to Buckley. Out now to Alous, who's lingering in the centres. Buckley still going. Benson throws the dummy, has Brimble outside, goes back inside. Buckley crashes his way over the halfway. 25 seconds to go, still a couple of tackles up their sleeve. Williams, through the hands of O'Grady. Wakefield to Nocon. Oh, Brown puts it down. Shane Brown puts it down.
That's the grand final.
Shane Brown had the chance, he couldn't hang on to it.
Redcliffe have done it. They come back after 2 seconds.
That's time. Full time in the grand final. Full time. Redcliffe hanging on to their 4-point lead. Are under pressure. South threw plenty at them, but it's the Dolphins who are the 1996 Brisbane Premiers, defeating Southern Suburbs 16 points to 12. But they had to weather plenty from the Magpies.
Well, they sure did. South at the end of the day have scored 3 tries to 2, but that doesn't matter. It's points on the board that count, and Redcliffe, through the kicking of Wayne Miller, they've come home. And there's the elation of victory for the Redcliffe Dolphins. And there'll be plenty of celebrations down on the peninsula. They won the grand final 2 years ago here, and now they've managed to come back again. They always felt that they were a good chance even last year. And there's the victory song for the Redcliffe Dolphins, and Wally Fulton-Smith, of course, who is an ex-Redcliffe player, would be very, very happy with the performance from his old club. Danny Nutley, there he is, gets to his feet, holds the cup. He's still got enough strength to get the cup in the air, and he's had an outstanding season.